A flash of steel. A spray of crimson on brightly lit yellow sand. A cheer erupts from a crowd we barely discern around us. There's a scuffle in the sand, the shuffle of feet, clawed feet, as pulling out from the camera we see a younger lizard man. His collar frills up and erect in a sign of defiance and outrage at the wound that he's just been dealt. As we look upon him, we see him decked out with a leather chest piece, a nasty looking piece of steel in his hand, a wooden shield adorned in grim pieces of fur and feathers. The sword, if we could call it that, dripping with blood. Pig's blood. Because Pax, this is not a competition. In this arena in front of 20,000 people cheering under a dome that has been made and enchanted to look like an imperial sky. This is a show. This is a play for somebody else's benefit. The man that stands before you is decked in imperial regalia. No shield, barely a chest plate, but large hat, feather, rapier. He gleams of that imperial nobility, that imperial regalia, the might of the Imperium. This man is here to get his promotion, and you are to bring them that. His glory, his medals. You are here to fall at his sword. You are at his mercy, for anything else would be unimaginable. To the corner of your eye, you look up to one of the booths. You've been trying to look for this specific booth for the last 10 minutes. Helps the young fop in front of you to get that lucky hit in simply because you're not actually looking at him. You find the booth that you're looking for. A series of silhouettes, again in this bright light that you've gotten somewhat used to. You can see another figure, large brimmed hat, dark imperial uniform, talking to a man you've known now for a few years. The man who has been feeding you, clothing you, getting you into fights, and making sure that those scars are stitched up in a most attractive way possible for the public. Your master is negotiating with someone. You're not exactly sure what exactly, but he seemed to be gesticulating quite a bit. You're too far to discern if it's in excitement or in frustration. The figure in the hat is standing quite immobile, statuesque. Almost as the first time you met her, just a few hours earlier before the fight. Not wanting to go flashback into flashback because it might be crass, but we will do so now. As you go back to find that moment in your cell, waiting on that execution, that scripted execution that was going to be planned, you see your master, jailer, trainer, however you might call him, benefactor, I believe that's the way he likes to be called. He walks with this creature. You've never seen one exactly like it. Actually, you haven't seen the whole menagerie she's following. You've never seen creatures like these. The woman is of an incredible blue hue of skin. Dark blue, but there seems to be a layer of shine upon it, almost like a translucent, well, ether to it, ethereal property to it. As she looks about the different cells and listening, sort of half listening to what your benefactor is telling her, she only glances just a second in your direction and then moves on. Behind her, you see the shape of a humanoid stooping just enough so that the horns of this bull-like head is just scraping the ceiling. And they pass in front of you. But one stays behind, unnoticed by your benefactor. He resembles an elf if he had lost his nose to an accident and turned a sickly green and spotted skin. He stands, his arms behind his back, looking towards you, a bit like someone would observe a prize beast in a zoo. There's no emotion there, just assessing. And you hear a voice in your mind. Beyond any language, it's just pure understanding. You look like the more intelligent sort around here. Not an opinion, not a question, that is fact. And my captain has interest in you. Clearly, if the schedule of the fights this afternoon is to be believed, you no longer have a purpose here in this arena. Show, my captain, that you are able to be more than what is planned for you, and she will have her spot at her side for you. And he moves on, catching up with the group. We go back now to the arena itself, where the fop has put himself back into position. Again, he has this time removed his broad-sided hat, which he has dramatically thrown to a corner, the rapier flashing with just that little bit of flicker to throw the blood, your blood, to the sand. And then, in a manner most appropriate, invites you to join him in combat. You have a last look up to the stands, and there you understand, as you see that sickly yellow greenish elf look down, nod once to you, and just turn slightly his head towards the captain, this blue skinned creature, Captain Grasha. Pax, what do you do?
Meeting the eyes first of that sickly elf, and then briefly trailing to, well, the darkened outline of his future captain, he slowly glances back towards his opponent, knowing full well which choreography was practiced. and Pax steps into the choreography until a moment that he knows stands wide open for showmanship, only to drop on all fours and let his claws and fangs go. The weapon's useless.
And before the entire Imperial audience, he is put apart and torn to pieces. Your benefactor's gambit lost. His favor disappeared as he screams, "No, no, no!" And the crowd goes silent. And good evening, friends, foes, and those undeclared. Welcome to Upon Waves of Starlight. How are we all doing, my players?
Excited.
Excited.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Right. Oh, I believe that's all four of you at least had one scene. So be prepared. Who knows who might come up on the next episode? Good. So, where were we in our little pre-piratical adventures?
We got to a ship.
You found a ship. Yes. Now don't
We
get
got
your hopes
the
too
Resources.
Don't get your hopes too up high. Too high.
Food.
Yes.
We've got a forest here.
So yes, as a quick reminder, we are still exploring Shipgrave Reef, and after having, well, extinguished the possibilities of Flow and Tektite Island, you've made your way southward to past what is referred to on the map as Cork Bottle Island, which is, well, basically a petrified mushroom cloud in the middle of the ether, where you would wonder if, well, most likely the source of the heat that is permeating these waters here in this area. As you made your way there, the canoe bringing you there was, well, basically put to water again, as some of your now more or less official crew decided to start evacuating the survivors from the 6-ship battle from Flow Island to this one, hoping that you would find better food, better shelter, more survivable circumstances in waiting for help. As you started to explore the island itself, you started by going around the shores, going north towards that little passageway between the island itself and a reef that seems to protect it from oncoming currents. And that is where Gizmo, grabbing Astrea's spyglass straight from her pocket, basically focused in on what could have been seen as a silhouette, a humanoid silhouette sticking out from the water, shored up onto the reef. Considering the age, the general shape, and the this particular figure, I don't know. you would have identified the ship down there as the Legend, the pirate ship you have been looking for, whose treasure has brought all four of you and so many others to this god-forsaken reef. So I ask you, my players, what do you do?
Who of the NPCs were around us in this moment as we come upon this boat?
It's just you four.
Because they went back.
Absolutely no one.
It's just you four. For some reason, it's always you four.
Why is it always the four of you?
When something happens, it is only.
Been asking myself that question my whole life.
So it is reachable by foot, right? It's on the shore. It's not like in the middle of nothing.
So it is. If you look towards the map, it's basically it's stuck basically up onto the reef, and I would say the front part of it has sort of knocked itself into the reef, and maybe the current has sort of moved the aft onto the shore. So it's halfway. It stands sort of halfway between the reef and the shore.
Like doing a Suez Canal where you can't pass because it's
pretty much.
really blocked.
Yeah. Well, it's not big enough to do so in a way, but yes, that's pretty much the situation.
Right. What's kept it from being kind of like swept out to the open sea so far? Kind of like, is it just ran aground so far that it's wedged there, or would it be imaginable that a big enough tide could kind of like sweep it out?
Oh, probably the fact that you can only see the not the figurehead. You can only see the figurehead and the top of the mast emerging from the ether.
Oh, it's
Sunken.
It's very much sunk.
okay.
That changes things.
Yeah.
Did I forget to mention that?
I think as we stand there observing the ship, Pax just audibly goes, "Well, fuck."
Right.
Yep.
Hey, you didn't happen to check if amongst the people over there was a shipwright?
There was one. Crew management.
I don't think there's actually any of true shipwrights.
No.
But but maybe one or two that are able to hammer nails. But I mean, Gizmo, are you shipwright or did I forget which?
So I took. Let me see again the traits I have. I have 2 in shipwright.
Yeah.
And 1 in master gunner. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. That is really useful, actually, because basically I think that as per the rules, if we don't have a shipwright, we can't make repairs at sea, and we must dock at port and use gear and whatnot, depending on how closely we want to play it to the.
Let's get ourselves a ship before we start playing with those kinds of rules. Okay.
Fair.
It's still in the
Astrea.
tutorial. You don't have access to that part of the inventory yet.
All right. Well, at least we found it.
Who did?
Now what?
Well, if this were normal sea, there would be the matter of getting it ashore, careening it, repairing it with the materials at hand, but getting it out of the ether?
We still have one of those gunpowder barrels. Or 2.
Are
I'm
we all
curious-
forgetting that this ship is also tied to a legendary, extremely sought-after treasure?
So we need the treasure, not the ship that contains
It
the
was.
treasure.
I think Pax, not with the intent to do harm, but does go for like a knuckle down bonk on Gizmo's head as he says that.
Yeah, I feel right now the bigger treasure is to stay alive. So,
Loyalty was tentative already. It's going to get messy if gold is involved.
yeah.
For now, a semi-intact ship would be the real treasure. It's only bonus if it actually has cash on board. But first, we need to explore it, assess what is salvageable, and what we actually can do with it. If the treasure is even still there, or if it has been absorbed by the Aether again. We don't know if its hull is intact.
Let's hope for the latter.
Anyone have any bright ideas on how to get into an ether-infested wreckage?
Okay, question for the DM. In my shipwright experience so far, did I ever see how the process to put a ship at sea works, like physically? Like the first time a ship is put to sea.
It is very much the same kind of version, as in a ship is built up on the docks, from the keel up, and once it is finished, then it is literally rolled over logs and drawn with
It
rope
is rolled over,
just
okay.
rolled into the sea. Yeah. And that is for the few ships that, I mean, have you been to any big ports?
So, from what I imagine, maybe once or
Yeah.
twice from my background, but I haven't been here for such a long time either. So
Because most I guess you would know this, is that most of the ships that are on the Expanse are not actually built in the Expanse, right? A lot of the ships are either imperial, or they are royal, are merchants, and they usually come from other worlds, basically.
yeah,
There's not this is not a plane where there's a lot of wood where you can actually make ships into.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't think you'll have, but you do have dry docks where ships can be repaired, and so yeah,
Okay.
most likely you can guess that yes, if there's heavy repairs, or if you're building a ship, it will be brought onto shore, built up, and then released back into the ether.
Ah, yeah.
So how does one salvage a ship with the resources here?
I mean, with enough time and hands, we have enough plans that we could improvise a form of cordage, but that is going to take a lot of time. So maybe not ideal. For now, is there any way for any one of us to hop aboard the ship just to assess quickly, staying above ether level?
I mean, we can try.
It's for the DM, but
It's, you can see the ship underneath, but apart from the maybe last third of the mast and the figurehead, nothing is above nothing is above.
okay. So even okay, it's sunk at the bottom of the trait, and it's just that shallow here.
Yeah, it's
Is that it?
Yeah, it's about. I mean, from what you can see, yes, right. Remember. Actually, it's dark enough for you to determine that it is shallow waters, right? Remember, the sea here gets brighter the deeper you go.
Yeah.
So here, as you're looking down into the darker part of this particular reef, you realize that the ship is maybe resting, not necessarily, might be resting on two sides of a maybe deeper cliff, but it is resting there.
Does anybody have any rope? Pags begins to ask as he's very clearly starting to unclasp his leather harness and
Oh no.
looks towards the ship, and you can literally see him start to gauge how far it is.
Well, actually, I don't have rope, but I think we have some rope in the raft, right?
Yeah, I would guess that you would have rope, or it considering just the sheer amount of vegetation that you have behind, it wouldn't take much. It would take some time, but not a lot of skill to just grab fibers and make your own rope. But
All I'll need is an antidote ready.
Do we have one on hand, or did we leave everything with the crew?
No, I think you would have some.
Okay.
Roll me a d4. Astrea, roll me a d4.
All right.
I'll give you a d4 plus 1 doses.
Come on.
There we go. You've got 2.
There we go. 2. All right.
I will say, ether poisoning comes if you swallow the water. If you can hold your breath, you're okay.
Okay.
That's why I think I'm the most qualified.
Before that, we are happy we found the ship. This island is big. I would like to have a full recon of the place before we start losing people. Well, diving and having people less aware in case we are not alone here. Either boars or other creatures that might be a danger to us.
Right. Also, what I suggest, it's not big enough for people not to walk up here on their own and maybe make the same discovery we did. So there's limited odds of this remaining a secret very long. So we might want to figure out how to handle that before someone else brings it to our attention.
I can just find out if we have any chance at digging it out by seeing the situation beneath the ether. If it's lodged in or broken beyond repair, then we'll have to adapt with what's on the island anyway.
So, priorities. Someone, sir, how do we divide this up? How long do you think you'd need for that?
How far away is the ship from the shore where we're standing, approximatively?
10, 15 meters?
Oh.
Damn.
I could... couple of seconds. If the aft of the ship is still there, great. If it isn't, well...
Your call, Captain.
If we do this, Gizmo, I want you on PAX watching duty.
Yes, sir.
You keep an eye on him, you make sure he stays safe, and you help in any way you can without getting into the water yourself. PAX, a quick recon, no trying to dig the treasure out right now. We need better equipment for that. Farron and I will be on watch duty because I don't want someone or something to get while we have our backs to get us while our backs are turned.
All right. Pax starts securing the rope around his waist as this is being said, looking towards Astrea and then Gizmo.
Yeah.
If I meet ether wolves down there, I'm gonna need to be pulled in quick. I'll tug twice if I need to be reeled in.
Alright, Gizmo, you're holding the rope. You warn us if he pulls twice. And we'll help.
Yeah. Above table, what is Gizmo's strength score?
Not enough to get Pax back from the water. That's exactly it. Like what's written. That's what's written in my score. Not enough for Pax.
Not enough for
Yeah.
I got a 9, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but you're the one with the gizmos and gadgets to eventually help if needed.
Don't forget you've got that armor. Oh, by the way, which artificer gizmos did you activate? Because you had chose through the whole list, but I think you get 2 activated.
You mean the infusions?
The infusions, yeah.
For now, I have the armor of magical strength.
Yep.
And then the boarding packs.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes.
So those are the 2 I have activated.
The boarding packs, I like it. The pack sacks.
And that's pretty. Yep, and those are the 2 because that was the last long rest we had.
Okay.
Okay. Bonus action flicks out the glass blade, kind of like and prepares to watch the surroundings.
Okay. Just so that I know, Astrea and Farron, please give me a perception check.
Coming right up. Fuck.
Before Astrea turns, she's going to have a little touch on Pax, and that is a D4 roll. Oh, that's new.
Yep, that's new.
So, Pax, you get guidance.
Thank you.
Huh, that is going to be... That's very different from previous... Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, we don't get the full Oh, yeah, okay, that's gonna take some adapting.
Oh, you're gonna need to tell me which skill.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay.
You've got +6 in perception.
Oh, yeah, right. My bad. I didn't know I needed to give the skill.
What?
Oh, the guidance.
Guidance has changed. You can only give guidance for one specific skill.
Skill. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, this would be perception. Oh, you're giving it to Pax.
I'm giving it to Pax, so it would be athletics or.
Yes, that would be the swimming. Skill. Okay. And until the spell ends, and the spell lasts for how long?
1 minute.
Okay.
And it's concentration.
Okay. Yeah, Pax. This is not the first time you've done something like this. You were part of the dive team, the recovery team, on your own ship. You tie the rope. You know the knots to make sure it's secure, and you dive in.
I would like to point out that I have only my boarding axe. I left all the other things weighing me down and my armor back, and I'm just in my trousers and boarding axe.
As you dive into the ether, here you feel it's warmer than usual. As in, it's still... it's not uncomfortable. But these are shallows, these are volcanically created islands, and that heat is still permeating and radiating from these land masses. As you dive here, you feel the first thing you realize is yes, the ship isn't too far away, or at least you thought so when you were sort of looking from above. But there is always that a bit like water, where that the distances are always a bit skewed. You start diving in here. The currents aren't that big of a deal, but just enough so that you have to kind of move against it to get to the ship itself. So let's have you roll that athletics check, and you can add a d4.
All right.
That's a 16.
+4.
That's a 19.
Nice.
Actually, no, sorry, that's a 20.
That's a 20. Yeah.
That's a 20. So very good. As you dive underneath the water, there's a first moment where you start... The immediate thing is, yeah, this ship is gone. As in, you can see that it is... A lot of the wood that is left is either rotten through, or you can see evident ether damage starting eating away at whatever might have been left. You can see that some of the parts have been either crumbled or smashed. You're not exactly sure how, because you're not seeing a lot of. It seems to be damage in itself, right? But you can also see that there are parts of it sort of almost missing. You have 3 areas that you can explore. You have the gunnery stations, the crew quarters, or towards the back, the captain's quarters. The rest has seemingly been crumpled onto itself, and sort of made itself unavailable. At least for now, without further exploration.
When I'm seeing the fact that parts are missing from the ship, does it look like the ship's got blown to bits before sinking? That it took damage before going down?
It will have... from what you can see, you're unsure. Unless you get a closer look, of course.
Mm-hmm. Pax will... he's not going to enter any of the 3 areas as Astrea told him to, but what he is going to do is going to assess the accessibility of the areas and the stability as he passes by, just to see if, like, the door to the crew's quarters is a bunch of logs and splintered wood you have to get through, or if those seem quite stable.
Well, actually, I just gave you the answer to that question, right? Those are the 3 areas. But make me an investigation check nonetheless, and maybe I can give you some more information.
All right. El cuatro.
Yes. Unfortunately, not much.
With that information, I'm going back.
I will say this, though. I guess. No, we'll save that. You'll be back, I'm sure. Right. I'll honor the 4. No, so yes. So you come back with the knowledge that there are these 3 areas that are still available for exploration, but the rest is no longer the case. It's no longer the case.
Can I have calculated the amount of time it took me to swim there, like one way?
Oh, actually, I have the numbers here. The gunnery station requires 30 seconds of underwater swimming. The crew's quarters about a minute, and a bit more for the captain's quarters, because you would have to go through. It's a little less accessible than the rest.
Yeah. Does that assume the swim speed halved of the 30 foot, or because I have a swim speed of?
So for you, actually, would be half of that, because you have a swim speed.
Cool.
And 15 minutes of... I mean, let's face it, the book hasn't planned for people who can actually almost breathe underwater.
Yeah, I can hold my breath for 15 minutes. So essentially when Pax went in, he went... and now when he's coming out, he's like...
Barely out of breath.
Ship is, well, a no-go to repair unless we have several months. But there's 3 areas intact we could probably have a look through, get information, salvage something. Gunnery stations, crew, and captain's quarters is all that's left.
Additional information, I'll say this. The ship, the Legend, is a brigandine. So fairly large ship. Well, larger on the medium-sized ship. Technically, if there is enough material, you would have to see what can actually be salvaged. You'd have to examine that more. But technically, you could try and maybe salvage parts of the wood there and build something smaller. But that will require an expert in shipbuilding.
It's definitely not something Pax would say or notice. He's good at breaking stuff.
But as soon as Pax mentions the gunners area being still intact, Gizmo's eyes go like they start to shine.
Well, now that we know, it's gonna take more exploration and more equipment. Good to know it's there. Let's see about making some decent quarters for the rest of the crew when they arrive and actually securing this island now.
I'm still holding on the rope because we didn't pull twice. by the
You
way.
have not been ordered to let go, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Pax doesn't notice.
So Gizmo is now holding a Pax on leash.
Delightful.
Yeah, I think Pax will very systematically just go to work. As Astrea says, maybe we should secure this place and some quarters for those that are
Yeah.
coming. Starts looking for a spot to set up again, a little base camp, and, well, considering all the materials still on the other island, he's just going to start by sharpening some branches and setting up ramparts towards the water to secure it against potential astral, aquatic, ethereal-aquatic creatures.
Ethereal beasts, yeah. Ether beasts.
How's the... because I know that over here it was more of a cliff type, even if not that high, but very vertical. How's the beach looking on this side? Is it more like a sandy beach entering the water, or is it...
So it's this is a place where the currents sort of come in and sort of smoothed it out. So you do have a lot of you do have sand, yeah.
Okay.
Though I would guess a lot of the sand would be no. This would be sort of if the current is moving this way. There's not a lot of sand left, so it would be rocky, but I guess it would almost like frosted glass on at certain areas.
All right. And how crowdable is the island? Like, is it flat with small vegetation, or is it like high vegetation trees and we can't see through it?
No, so the vegetation there is jungle-like. So this is
Jungle-like.
as in you had a small cropping, sort of jungle cropping on Tektite Island.
Yeah.
This one here is much larger. Here this is an actual forest-sized jungle environment.
Okay. So we can't see that the whole island is empty of whatever. So
Make me a all of you. Make me a. You can make me an investigation check. Investigation or survival.
you know what I'm taking?
This is not gonna be survival.
Seriously?
Nice.
Don't fuck me. Oh, that's nice. It didn't fuck me.
Wait, so
as soon as we get that number.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
nice!
Ooh.
Very nice. Indeed.
by the way, just a question because I
Yes.
rolled a 7 basically, right?
Yeah.
But I would have a passive investigation of 14. So which one should I do I still count the active roll that we just
Yes.
rolled, or can I just okay?
So the idea is I'm going to be using passives as difficulty for things against you.
Okay.
Now, I have had on some tables and some GMs have been told me that they sometimes give the option to the players to take the 10.
Yeah, that's why I was asking because a rule I apply to my tables is that if you have a passive perception, you cannot roll lower than that on that roll.
I
Basically.
would say...
But
then I am not going to say you can roll lower. What I can say is if you want on an active test... Let's say this. I would say you can take the 8. As in, if you roll, you take the roll. If you decide I'm just going to take the 8, that means that you are rolling 8 plus your the skill bonus,
okay.
and that's it. You're not going to be able to roll
Yeah,
higher.
no.
You're never going to be able to roll lower.
Fair enough. Okay.
How does that sound, guys? So it's basically, it would be 2 under your passive. Because,
Okay.
Because you're not taking the risk of the roll.
Okay.
Fair.
We can discuss that.
Okay.
Yes, home brewing live. Yay.
Know what you're complaining about.
Plus-
It's fine.
It's part of the game.
Yeah. Plus, we can actually call it the piece of 8, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll take
Done deal.
the 8. I'll take the piece of 8. Right. Okay. Anyhow, Farron, you've been keeping your eye diligently on the tree line while this conversation is happening behind you. And I think that it's, as you're looking through the tree line, you're sort of trying to assess where any danger might come from, right? If somebody were to rush out from the tree line. And what you do realize is there is a gap in the tree line. There is a... while the wall of trees sort of interrupts at an intersection. And as you're looking closer, you can see stumps. As in, this opening was artificially made.
Huh. Is there any way to determine with that roll? I think this is one of the highest I've had. I rolled an 18 on the die.
Yeah.
To determine how fresh those cuttings were, like how long ago those were cut down.
It's because it's a 20. It's because you rolled that 20 that you actually noticed them. You would have to go up closer and actually inspect to kind of see. And that is going to require a nature roll rather than investigation.
Fair enough. Hey, just so you know, someone's been working on the tree line. I don't know how long ago, but points towards the stumps. This looks like there was someone around here to cut down some trees. Don't know if it was the original crew or if it's more recent. Either way, eyes peeled.
I mean, it could be the boars who are just chewing through the vegetation as well. But
No.
let's go have a look.
Right? Boars would have.
I mean, I don't know if my nature is that high, but boars are a type of pack animals, and they are known to leave traces through the woods when they. So.
That is true. But that's not what I described, Farron. Just Farron.
Okay. Well, I'll go closer to the opening.
Okay. As you step into the opening, up to the opening, so needless to say, there's no sunlight here, And a lot of the vegetation itself has adapted to not using sunlight for sustenance, but the ether itself. And so any forest or any tropical type of vegetation will be lush, overly bright, like overly saturated colors, and have that sort of shine of ether amongst it, always. So as you step forward, you can see the fronds of these gigantic ferns and these sort of low-hanging viney sort of branches. And you can see there is an opening in that vegetation wall. You can see that that it has started to... It was most likely wider, but the forest has started to encroach onto it. Right, it's maybe now 60, 70 meters wide, while it might have been an opening for about maybe 2 meters. So you can see younger vegetation is starting to grow, closing the gap. But as you come up to the line, you can see that vegetation is growing out from here or there these large stumps, as in cut by axes. Or machetes or such.
That's traces of intelligent life.
Well, they can use tools. Doesn't mean they're intelligent.
Yeah, well. Let's follow the trace. Let's follow the path, see where it leads.
Okay. Keeping our eyes peeled. Do we want to leave someone at the wreck, or?
This is not recent. If anyone, the people who did this either left the wreck or they came, they found it, and went back again. So.
Gods.
How long until Charon returns with others?
Oh, you've got a few hours. Maybe, I would say about 8. I would say you could maybe count on 8 to 10 hours, because they still need to undo the camp, make that raft, and that kind of thing. So yeah, but let's say 10 hours.
Cool.
All right then.
You want to take the lead, Farron?
Might as well.
You were the one to find it. You got first.
Mighty generous. Let's go then.
Actually, Gizmo was the one to find it, but sure.
No,
because
found the.
He's still thinking about this ship.
Yeah, you know, you found the. You.
Yeah, just Farron, you're going, yeah, no, I found it, but you've... And Gizmo just goes right through your legs and it heads towards the opening.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. And goes after Gizmo and keeps his eyes peeled. Okay. And rapier out. Well, scimitar out.
Who here does not have dark vision?
Ooh, I think that would...
Farron, don't you have Devil's Sight?
Oh, yes, that's true. Now I do. Okay,
that's what I thought.
I think
I don't think... Well, kobolds should.
Oh, yes, I have dark vision. Yeah. 60 feet.
I did grab it for just that reason.
Okay, Pax? I don't know if Lizardmen, they have him?
Nope.
Okay, so I think you're the only one without dark vision, actually. Okay.
There's always, like, all parties always have dark vision,
except for
that one guy. Who's like that.
Yeah.
It's usually me.
Oh, I remember that.
And that's when you grab Warlock just for the dark vision.
Yeah, the yeah,
Eldritch Initiate.
Eldritch Initiate, yeah. Okay, anyways. As you move in, Farron, make me a survival check, and considering that you were accompanied, I'll Gizmo. I mean, you would give them a help action. So Farron,
Okay.
survival with advantage.
Okay, that's a straight roll for me. Gizmo, you got anything better than that?
Why are you rolling with disadvantage?
No, straight roll. I mean that I. No, I mean plus nothing.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. You mean in survival I've got -1, so
Okay, fair enough.
Yep. Let's put the two. Put the two city folk right in front, and go into the jungle.
Hey, okay. The dice are compensating. That's
let's
an
go.
18 on the die.
Let's go.
Okay. As soon as we get it. Oh, nice with the 18. Okay. Yeah. As you move into the jungle itself, you start any form of starlight or that dim light that sort of illuminates this world is gone. And very quickly, though, Farron, Astrea, Gizmo, you have no issues with this. Pax, Astrea, you notice Pax sort of starting to stumble as he is walking in complete darkness, despite Gizmo pulling him on a leash. Because as far as I understand, he has still not let go of that rope.
That's correct.
I think as soon as it gets really, really dark, Pax is just going to reach out to the person closest to him, which, assuming Gizmo and Farron were in front, he's going to stick near Astrea. I think Astrea will immediately get a big clawed hand on her shoulder.
Okay. Farron, strangely enough, Astrea, Gizmo, Pax, you realize that this human here is seeing in the dark almost better than you are. And this is starting to get pitch black. So even you, Astrea, Gizmo, you kind of need a certain amount of light for that.
Yeah.
But this is starting to get really, really dark. Farron is completely unfazed.
I would like to walk up to Pax and use my magical tinkering on the boarding Pax to give the property. Well, it's not a lot, but it's for the radius light. So it's to give a radius of light of 5 feet around.
Yeah. So it'll allow you. It won't allow you to move, to see ahead, but at least where you put your feet. Yeah. So you're the. Gizmo? How does that manifest? Are you sort of inscribing a rune? Is there a little piece of machinery you stick to it? How does it work?
Good question. So I don't really have. Do I have anything I can write with? That could be nice.
I mean, it could just be your nail, right? You just sort of.
Yeah. I like that idea. I'll do that.
We can come back to that later.
Okay.
If you want. I'll let you think on it. So yes, Pax, you now have a shimmering, sort of slightly glowing, sort of dim glow on your axe, which allows you to just at least see where you're putting right foot in front of left foot.
Which means that it's a little bit of light for Gizmo and I as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you're walking through now this sort of path, you realize that while the opening was fairly large, the path itself it's a path that has naturally occurred by use, right? You can see sort of trodden earth. You can see that again. You'll see here and there. You'll see old stumps now covered in moss or other fronds and vegetation, sprouting their own sort of sprigs towards the sky. But this was definitely made, and this was a path that was made and used for a while. It takes you about maybe 30 minutes or so following this path until there's a break. You can just see, Farron, you can just see a small bit of light up ahead. Not light as in artificial, but maybe a break in the canopy.
Right. I also think that this will probably be the first moment that Farron maybe realizes that he's been moving without light. So, um, huh. All right, that's new. Anyway, let's just keep back a little. Things are clearing up ahead. Do I see anything kind of like with the light from the clearing
You
or
do. Half a dozen tents made of tattered canvas stand in a circle overgrown with jungle creepers. A small troop of monkeys chitter and leaps around the abandoned camp, cracking hard-shelled nuts onto stones and just playing and socializing. As you approach, just on the edge of this once clearing, they scatter into the trees and flee.
Okay, well, unless some really weird magic was happening here, that's not the crew.
And when I say monkeys, these are capuchin monkeys, right? These are
Yeah.
the small tree-dwelling, a favorite by any sea captain, undead or not, to that and carnival folk.
Hmm.
They look great in hats.
I'll name you Jack.
Exactly.
I'll first tent of that little abandoned settlement. How far away?
From the edge, from where you are, I would say. I mean, you almost stumble into it. I think
Okay.
it's about 2 meters away from where you're standing right now.
Right. Well, going from the logic that if there were any traps or funny business here, a bunch of dancing monkeys literally would have probably
No.
triggered them. I'm going to move towards the first tent and try and see if there's any leftovers, either remains or loot of any kind to be investigated.
As you go in, it's a mess. As in, this has been abandoned, but considering that there's barely rain, there are no real storms or wind. Cover is fairly good here. It is dirty, moss, and eaten away by humidity and general sort of grime and dirt. But you don't find much, right? There's traces of occupancy, right? You can see where there used to be maybe the space for a straw type of mattress or a weaved mattress. Well, not a mattress, but you understand what I mean. Sort of a finding my word. I'm not finding my words. Yes, basically you'll have a weaved sort of small futon kind of mattress here and there, eaten away by the vegetation, and it's, as far as you understand, that tent there. You can see the remnants of a tarp, the heavy sea cloth from the sails, probably directly taken from the ship, and cut into for use. Yeah, you can see that all of this is sort of lying around. This camp looks abandoned. It looks abandoned, and for years.
Okay.
This is an archaeology site.
Okay. Anything indicating either Imperial, Arisian, or Drake sort of like culture or affiliation or secret fourth party?
Well, there is in the center of the camp a stake, as in a piece of wood with a sort of a knotted rope around the top that is sort of punched into the center of the camp, right next to what you would guess would have been a fire pit of some sort.
Hey, fellas, have a look at this. Does that look familiar to any of you?
Let's go have a look.
It's just a piece of cloth. It doesn't have anything like written on it or some inscriptions, right?
No, we'll get to that. You can see, as he's calling you in, you can see that he's calling your attention to basically a piece of wood that has been sharpened at the bottom and staked into the ground.
Oh, it's only a piece of wood. Okay, okay. I completely misunderstood.
Yeah,
Okay.
no worries. And actually, I have a handout, so I will show you the handout.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Oh, I was looking in the wrong place.
And it
There we-
reads as such. In the common language, crew taken to large rocky island by beasts from the depths. These islands are unsafe. Do not linger.
Okay, so I guess that is a way for us to have a reason to go to Sentinel Island now. Or not.
Oh boy. Well,
Sounds like we shouldn't go. Is that a pretty bad idea?
how? I mean, I suppose if we want to see if there's anyone left over, but this is... Captain, this is old. Not sure
Yep.
there's going to be a lot of people to rescue.
Depends. Yeah. Anyways, right now we don't have a way to get there, and it's so old anyways that there's no rush. But let's keep that in mind. For now, let's see what we can salvage from this camp.
Sure, and I'll just take the liberty of keeping my eyes open for any beasts wanting to take me to another island, because
Yep.
just in case. Oh gods, the camp. If it gets raided while we're out here, that's going to be a problem.
What camp are you talking about?
Well, the rest of the, I guess, is it crew already?
Call it the crew, otherwise we're gonna fumble over vocabulary.
Yeah, well,
Let's make it simple.
if this island is as unsafe as this seems to indicate, and any beasts from the ether go and grab them, well, I suppose that will be a reason for us to go and pay the other island a visit.
Anyways, first and foremost, we took measures. For now, the rest of the crew should be fine until they arrive here. And you better hope they arrive here because they have our only seaworthy vessel.
Yeah, the other one. God, salvaging and raising a ship, or even repurposing one, that's what, months at least. So unless we want to get real comfy here, I do hope we find a way away from here.
Farron, you're spitballing into theories and phantasmas that have no reason to happen. So focus on the here and the now. What can we do? We can salvage whatever is left of this camp to reuse. So let's get on to it.
Okay. And yeah, he calms down and starts investigating once more.
Okay.
I'm surprised that there was no intimidation roll needed for this one.
That might come later. Remember that, Gizmo. Remember that. You take. I mean, I'm guessing all four of you sort of start rummaging around in this camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, ish.
Ish.
I have an idea I want to try.
Okay, go ahead.
Because the monkeys have been here way longer than us, right?
Yes.
And there are animals that know how to hunt for food and stuff to survive.
So you can see pretty much all over the place. I would have described that anyways. Is you can see that the remnants and the husks of these. How did I call them? The large nuts that you've been looking for, which they have clearly been living off of, right? And you can see that all over the camp, littering it literally, are these husks and the broken shells of these nuts.
Okay.
Including the ones that they abandoned when they fled.
I'll go for those specifically.
For the nose nuts?
Yep.
Okay.
Not these ones, those.
Yes, those nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
Them nuts, yeah. So, what do you have anything specific that you want to do with them, or should we leave that till later?
I'll just try to gather as many as possible. If there are too many, I'll just push them and roll them on the ground somehow.
Okay.
I'd just like to say this is the part where Pax no longer wants to be attached, and he discuts the rope.
I roll up my rope, I put it back in the backpack,
Okay.
and I go back to work.
As you're looking through the camp itself, actually, all of you make me. Let's go for another survival or survival. I'll say this: investigation, nature, or survival, and any of the three will give you different information according to your results.
Let's go for nature.
Okay.
Investigation.
I'll stick
The
to
survival. Well, there you go.
Oh, but don't have big hopes for me, though. Neither of those three are good.
Wow.
I'm a fighter.
I mean, that's a double 17.
That
There we
is
go.
nice.
And we're back. Well, it's still respectable, but
Yeah.
it's
Okay. Astrea, as you're looking, let's start with the higher rolls. Or maybe no. Let's go for. Yeah, Pax. As you're looking through this, I think there's the heavy scent of monkey around here. Sort of troubles your senses, right? That you're looking around and going, "There's nothing here." It's just worn out canvas. There's the vegetation is sort of taken over apart from the general outline of the camp itself. There's not much to learn here. For you, this is kind of a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Gizmo with nature. As you're looking about, this has clearly been this former clearing that is now sort of being slowly encroached by the jungle is clearly a central spot for this monkey tribe. You're not exactly sure why or how, but they've decided that this apparently is the spot where they meet, where they play, this is most likely the place of the nursery. As you're seeing here and there, you're seeing nests, and you're seeing a lot of this sort of offset of food and nourishment, which most likely means that if you are within their territory, they've fled, but they will be back. And monkeys or apes, in some fashion, when they're encroached on their territory, they can get protective.
Okay. So we gotta be quick. Move over there. Okay.
Farron.
Can be territorial.
Investigation. What are you looking for here? Are you looking about
Well, first, if I find information about who exactly it was, I have a pretty big guess. It's the crew of the legend.
Yeah.
But also if there's any hints as to the kind of beast that took them away,
Okay.
and if there's any other sign of clear and present danger that I can determine from what's here.
As you're looking about you're looking towards scratches in the trees. You're looking for that. So, some looking at some of the older trees, you do find traces of the crew, as in some who have carved in their initials. You will have there's one particular tree where it's scarred over, but you can still see the sort of the markings. They've used one of these trees sort of as a calendar where they're marking the days gone by. You can actually see as well. There's maybe just the leftover of a hilt of us, maybe a small paring dagger or some paring knife that has been stuck into the tree, left there, and the tree sort of grew around it. You have these little. You can now that you know sort of what you're looking for, you can find these little pieces. It's like I said, archaeology, right? You're sort of trying to piece together. Mostly, what you do not find any effects here in the camp, right? No traces of rations, no nothing. It seems that, and we'll get to that, Astrea. It seems that this camp has been picked through.
And out of
Also,
curiosity,
I would also say you also see traces of a boar population coming through, right? As in, the tents have been probably knocked down, not necessarily by the monkeys, but also by this sort of boar population. And so you can see those traces around.
how many days on the makeshift calendar? Like, how long did they stay here before they got attacked?
From what you can see, it's difficult to make out because the bark has sort of grown back into it. But peeling it away, if you go to that extent, you can see, as you're quickly counting about, you can see maybe something along the lines of 60 odd days.
Okay.
But you're not exactly sure if it's because they stopped or or they weren't there. But yeah, you're counting about 60-ish, about 2 months.
Okay. All right.
Right. Who else? What did we not get through yet?
Yours.
Gizmo?
Yeah, so
did you
Astrea.
have-
No, I went through
Yeah,
everybody,
okay.
then Astrea.
Okay.
As you're looking into this particular camp, you're running survival, as in you're looking at this camp in that idea, as in how was it set up, how was it these people here survived for a while, how was it set up, and as you're thinking about why would they be here rather than next to the shore, right, you perk up your ears and you can hear the slow trickle of water. As you find there's a hardier stump. There's a tree that sort of grew around it, but you actually do find this sort of large tree with a knot into it, sort of a hole into it, and you can see that water is sort of pouring out of it. There is, and as you can see from what you can guess, actually, there is sort of a fist-size portal to the elemental plate of water that supplies this particular clearing with an ever steady source of water. It is going. You can hear it more than you can see it at first in this tree, but you would understand that underneath the roots of this tree, most likely hollowed out by the water, you have this sort of reaching out, branching out networks of waterways that basically nourish this entire part of the jungle. Not to say that there aren't others otherwhere else, but basically you have here a spring of fresh water.
It will do keep
Most likely,
a
yeah.
crew. Yeah. Um, by the amount of tents and the size of the camp, am I also able to estimate how many people were in this camp?
With the 23, I would say roughly around maybe 16 to 20 people. Difficult to say.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, an estimate is good. It's just, by the way, how many people are we looking at right here? And what type of defenses did they have set up around the?
So you are seeing, as you're looking around, the jungle has encroached onto the original perimeter, but you are finding traces of sort of picket style fences, rotten. So I would say this would be the equivalent of sort of bamboo defenses, right? Sort of a wall with sort of yeah. You'll see remnants of barricades, a bit like the ones that your own people set up on the beach back on Flow Island. You also notice that a lot that the camp is situated. Yeah, so I will. Sorry, things are coming back. So the way you found the tree was actually because there was the sort of a stone basin that they had maybe set up, sort of a small pool where the water would flow, from a rusty pipe that sort of been put in next to the spring. This has been encroached now, and that whole thing. But you also find a fairly large, at least the remnants of it, of a fire pit, where you can still see there are stacks of wood abandoned now for maybe 20 years. Well, not 20 years, but at least maybe at least for a few years. Sort of again covered in moss, and all the fauna and flora sort of gotten to it. But this was apparently a fire pit that was being used maybe to produce smoke, right? A beacon to be seen from afar, a proof of life from afar.
All right. What do you think?
Well, Gizmo thinks that whatever we decide, we we have to be quick because those monkeys will be back pretty soon. They can be territorial.
They're also a source of food. And we have water here, so we need access to that source anyways.
Move camp.
So now it's our camp?
It needs a decent cleanup, but the base materials are already here. I'm just debating how smart it is to put it exactly where the sea monsters already know where to find it.
Plus a population of monkeys that seems to call this their playground.
To be fair, if the monkeys want to do an at-home delivery of fresh meat, I don't have any qualms with it.
Fair enough.
Hello, Flesh.
My
Yeah,
problem would be visibility.
Right, how is... That's... Yeah, I suppose that is true. Looks up at the sky and tries to locate the source of light that there clearly is for him to see around here.
I guess the trees are just a little less dense here, and that's how the
Yeah.
starlight comes through.
Yeah, the center clearly. There's just a sort of a center beam, as the canopy has not completely fully engulfed the space yet.
Yeah, Farron is still trying to understand just how much of that was light that he could somehow perceive, and how much of that might be something else to have happened with his vision.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Does Farron look visibly confused?
If you'll allow it, DM, you could give me like an insight check.
Sure.
Well, that's a nat 20.
Okay, so what exactly are you? I mean, so what are you looking for in Farron? Farron, answer
In
truthfully. I
gen-
mean, unless Farron, do you want to? What's your stealth score?
Farron stealth. I have a +3 in stealth,
Yeah, so that's okay.
and
So you're not.
oh,
Yes.
yeah,
No.
no,
No.
past that,
Anyways, Pax, you read him like a book. So ask and Farron answer.
I think from Pax's point of view, being mostly attuned to combat, he's seen Farron's unwieldiness with the blade, the confusion and the kind of unfamiliarity with those situations of combat, and he's experiencing this kind of attitude again, but not with the weapon in hand, and that's why he's trying to figure out sort of where Farron stands, what's going on. In general, also, I would like to take the chance to, well, just play above the table. Pax does not look relaxed. From the second you have seen the ship and we've got confirmation it's the Legend, he's been following and helping out and being cooperative, but he's visibly more tense.
As to your question, Pax is right. Farron clearly is, was thrown into the deep end and is learning to swim as he goes when it comes to combat. And now there's an air of mild confusion and almost concern as you see him look at the hole in the canopy, allowing the light in the clearing, and you see his eyes dart back to what to you is the pitch black of the passage that has led you through here. And I think with that nat 20 that you put together, that it's only now that Farron is realizing I shouldn't have been able to see through that, should I? And you see the almost the calculations happening in his mind of yet another change, and what does that mean? And combined with the earlier interaction with Astrea, it's not difficult, I think, for Pax to realize that Farron is also a bit jumpy, is looking out for how to survive in the situation. He doesn't like how things keep changing around him and within himself, over which he seems to have no control. And that's probably the last thing that you realize. He didn't want this to happen. He didn't control this to happen. This is as much a surprise to him as it is to you, the fact that he could see now.
Okay.
The actually on that nat 20, I will add this, Pax. I would say that as you're looking towards Farron's eyes, unbeknownst to him, of course, but in that glimmer of your blade, there is a slightly amethyst reflection of that light at just in the center of the pupils of Farron's eyes, as if his eye color had changed.
I think Pax would just continues staring at Farron for an inappropriate amount of time.
Fair.
And
That's not ether.
Sorry, what?
That's not ether. Your eyes.
What about them?
They're purple.
I start staring at Farron very uncomfortably.
Purple. That's not... Okay. Okay, that's new. Good to know.
As you come closer, I mean, Farron, do you have any way of verifying that? Do you have any reflective surface or hand mirror or something along those lines with you?
I think what I would do is I would take one of my... Maybe if I have... Yeah, no, I probably
Yeah,
would
we
have
have
one of the a larger cleaver, well-polished metal, kind of like, and I would just hold it as a makeshift mirror.
What color are your eyes?
Grayish green, normally,
They
kind of
haven't
like...
changed. But Pax, what you saw is not much the eye color itself. Is more that reflective that you see in cat's eyes when there's light that goes through them, right? And just that has that purplish tinge to it. His eye, as he's now looking in the light, as he's sort of brought light onto that reflection, you can see his eye color is normal, right? That again, that sort of grayish green that you've seen before. But just now, it just seems that, yeah, you had seen something more.
Hey, if you ever see my eyes look green, just let me know, okay? Just in case.
Why specifically green?
Oh, there's someone I met a long time ago, and I wonder if I might not be still playing a very old game. It's a longer story. Just
Yeah, we're gonna circle back to that
sure,
at some
sure.
point.
In the meantime, hold the tip of your blade higher when you're taking point.
Sure, yeah. Thanks for that. So, holsters the cleaver. Next step.
Next step, we have to decide what we actually want to do, but this is the only point of water we've found so far, so...
Let's fill up some water skins and bottles, and maybe check back up on the rest of the crew. Would have been
Well,
my thought.
we still have time before they get here.
In that case, Gizmo, you had a sample of them nuts?
Yes, sir. And I just show you my big collection of nuts standing behind me, which is more or less, I would say, 2 gizmos tall, maybe.
Huh.
If
Attaboy.
the DM allows it.
I would say that you found something to put them in, which is most likely an old rusty cauldron, the old cooking appliance. I mean, you just found, oh, I found this, and just sort of propped it back up, start putting things into it, without actually maybe not even realizing what it was. It's just, oh, this is a container and I can use it.
I can put stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay. Well, anyone want to try and see if monkeys have good taste in food? And I grab one of them and crack it open to sample the goods. You're good health.
It's not pleasant, right? It's barely food. It's not going. That's not going to. It's not going to help you survive. Well, it will keep you alive, but it doesn't mean that it's actually hearty.
It's like eating good berries every day, basically.
Not even that.
Not even that. Yes.
I mean, these nuts they're sort of half fist sized. The pulp itself is not. It's medicine, right? They're used as medicine. They can be used as rations, but it has a very sort of bitter taste. Various. I think I described the interior as very flowery kind of stuff. These nuts would be better used as in powder with water and make into some sort of flour, sort of that bread kind of thing, rather than just biting them into it themselves.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Is maybe try to soak them and grind them before using them.
Yeah, Farron, could you make me let's see, the Constitution saving throw to see how the enamel on your teeth survives?
Yeah, boy. Let's go.
Roll for cavity.
Hey! Come on, go through. There we go, nat 20.
Well, I mean, you got good teeth. That's a nat 20.
Yeah.
Nat 20
Hey.
on how to bite things, and it's not even packs.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not my smartest decision of the day.
You think?
We still have several hours to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if the worst thing I do today is eat a bad nut, that'll be a day well spent, I think.
That is a way to look at it. All right. Let's see. We're technically not in a rush. We found this camp. Haven't explored the rest of the island yet, but do you think there might be other threats or dangers?
I mean,
I think we can consider this group of islands a place of danger.
Direct, I mean.
I
rather like not to run into any more than boars. Certainly, if we're going to use the tents, let's put them in places where they can't just literally run us through. I do like the idea of meat, though, so maybe some pit traps might be a concept.
we can also put snares for smaller game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea of that, especially since we're on firm ground here and the food is less likely to be ether infested.
That was my thought.
Wouldn't want a repeat of the earlier fiasco. It kind of like still nurses the back of his head where a pan almost left a bit of an impression. I can start working on snares and pit traps with packs if you'd like.
Gizmo, got any knowledge in that?
I can try to roll for it, I guess.
Sure.
No, because my thought is we're currently distracting all sea life with our lures up there. So if Pax or anyone needs to dive again to see the ship, now might be a good time.
Actually, I was about to ask you that. Did you want to explore the ship before or after the crew arrives?
I
And
agree with
before the crew
Astrea.
is there.
I think it would be a good idea for us to even know if gold fever is going to strike with
Yep.
the crew, as you so
And what-
lovingly call them, Farron, before it happens.
Yes. So let's go back to the ship.
Before we leave,
Yeah?
if we have more or less 1 minute, I would like to ward the camp that we found with the alarm spell,
Okay.
so that we can get notified if something happens. I will just put it around, let's say, the water spring.
Okay.
So 20-foot cube centered on that. And I'll pick the mental alarm because otherwise it would be useless.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're not against the clock yet. We've got a minute. No worries.
Yeah, you got more than enough.
You might want to designate a monkey, monkeys, as not setting off alarm, or it'll go off immediately.
That's true. Because when you cast the spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. So can I do they have to be creatures that I personally know, or?
I would allow the idea of maybe of a size. You're not going to go, oh, I'm going to designate this monkey, this monkey, this monkey, Astrea,
Okay,
and
fair
Farron.
enough.
Right?
What if I'll say any? Is it fair if I say any humanoid, medium humanoid that is not my crew?
Would not set off the alarm or set off the alarm?
They would not set off the alarm. No, sorry. Those.
Okay. What you're trying to do is set up the alarm so that the monkeys don't trip it.
Yes.
Okay.
Monkeys or boar or any kind of wildlife. It has to be someone that
Okay.
that might be actually dangerous for us.
Let's make this interesting. Why don't you roll me an Arcana check?
Okay. I can
As
do
in, this is okay. 14. Yeah, I think you would be able to do so. Right?
Okay, fair.
You sort of have in mind that, okay, we're going to have boars, so I'm keeping that. You sort of try to sort of give it a mental, try to, it's going to, you try to, with a 14, okay. You can sort of rule out the monkeys and maybe the boars.
Okay. Perfect.
It does mean that, if you actually get bigger monkeys or bigger, if there's a giant boar rushing through the camp, it will go undetected, right?
Fair.
Well, it will go detected.
It will go detected.
It will go undetected because you've excluded the boar.
Oh, okay.
Okay, as secretary. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
The DM
because
is
it
just
was a
setting up
bigger
King
boar.
Kong to meet us when we get back. Volcanic
Yeah,
in
absolutely,
the middle of
absolutely,
nowhere.
Yeah, you'll get. You'll be. Yeah.
So we should implement Venn diagrams for this spell. It would be much easier.
Don't worry about it. Okay, not a problem. I understand what you mean, and you get those results. You will not your alarm, despite what I was planning, will not be triggered by wildlife.
Fair enough. Okay. And I look at Astrea and I'm like, we're good to go, Captain.
All right.
Okay.
Um,
What is, again, Gizmo? Because artificers are artificers, and I'm always interested in seeing how the players sort of interpret that, because it's not just magic, right? It's gizmos and.
Yeah, it's Gizmo's.
So what do we see? How does Gizmo set up the alarm spell?
So actually, I would imagine him using some kind of physical kind of trigger, something that he thinks could actually be a physical trigger, but then he doesn't actually use it. So I think I take a piece of rope, right, that you would normally extend it to be tense so that someone trips on it, but I just leave it in front of the water spring, and I just inscribe with my claw some runes toward the area, and then that's pretty much it. But you can see that the intent is to make it so that it would trip someone, but it just left on the
Yeah,
floor.
it's a cube.
Yeah.
It's a bit wobbly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right, that's it into place. You head back to the ship?
Yeah, let's head back to the ship, which was...
I mean, here again, you know the path, right? So, and you know where you're going. So it's still a maybe 15-minute walk from here to the shore where the wreck is. But you now have a better understanding of, yes, this is something that they would often do, actually.
Yeah.
Right. We are moving back to the ship. And I think that, again, unless there's further conversation, we see the same scene as before, right? Pax harnessing up, Gizmo holding the rope, Astrea and Farron on either side, sort of one maybe looking towards the ether, another towards towards the forest, and as
This time,
yes,
since we've established that there are no huge risks like intelligent people on the island who would be a threat to finding the treasure, Pax, how do you feel about diving in tandem?
Well, how good of a swimmer are they? It's like any wreck, I need to be able to trust the skills of a fellow diver.
I get it. Out of game, quick constitution, because constitution is the main element here, checks, but Astrea would suggest diving herself with you. At least to have a look.
We have no diving equipment, so how's your breath control?
Not as good as yours, but not bad.
Well, Gizmo, we need rope.
Gizmo? It's going to... you, as far as you understand, you're going to need a couple of... I mean, a 50-foot rope is not going to be enough. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what you
That's all in
could
my
do
inventory as
is... What you could do, like Pearl Divers, is, you rig a little sort of flotation device, and then you can see... You can follow that. But, yeah, Pax, you would know... The ship itself, the part that you're trying to reach, is roughly about 10 meters underwater. So it's still quite a significant dive. The currents being what they are.
Yeah.
You can sort of estimate how long it would take Astrea to go down there. Astrea, what is your... I believe it's the Constitution bonus.
+3.
+3. So technically that would give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes before you start drowning.
Yeah.
Which already 3 minutes underwater, keeping your breath is not a bad thing.
So, which is why Astrea is not imposing it. just thinking about it because she at least wants to see the ship from up closer, but she could just swim above it, have a dive, go closer, but not enter the ship, if that is clear.
I think, and I'm going to ask this above the table, dear DM, I think it's also feasible for Pax to drag Astrea through the water with his swim speed. Sort of like move her with him.
Yeah, this would most likely yeah, it'll basically move her forward, slow you. So instead of having a movement of 15 and 30, it'd be 20 for both of you. So it'll help her, but it will definitely slow you down.
Mm-hmm. But that's enough to, get you close to the ship. You can hold on to me and I can get you close to the ship, Astrea. I recommend, however, if we have to go inside, that, well, we're going to need the speed and agility if things go wrong.
And I'm not thinking about entering the ship. I just want to see it closer.
I think Gizmo wants to enter the gunner's area.
Oh, let's see what's left over of it before we decide what we do precisely.
Okay.
Well, Pax once more gets ready, takes off his armor, puts his short swords down.
Astrea is gonna follow you. Yeah. And DM, before the dive, would we have a short break?
That's exactly what I was gonna propose. So, as I was about to say, as Pax hits the water, but you've did a full scene. So as Astrea and Pax, as you two sort of step to the edge of the water and to dive in, we are going to take a break. So, my players, I will see you in a few minutes. Go get something to drink, get something to eat, to snack, move a bit around. For you who are watching, first of all, thank you for coming this far. We will be back soon enough with the second part of this session when we have two of our crew explore the remnants of the legend. We'll see you then.